Hi there, I'm Rose Jacobs here with you for Kalkinemedia. Today we're going to look at 4 highly anticipated Bitcoin ETFs to watch out for. But first, you know the drill, press that bell icon for all the latest updates right here with Kalkinemedia. As ProShares debuted on the New York Stock Exchange on Tuesday, the crypto world has an air of expectation. The ProShares Bitcoin Strategy exchange-traded fund, BITO, was an instant hit, registering the highest ever first-day volume for any ETF. With this race of the first Bitcoin ETF launch over, the race is now on to see who will be the second-placed or third-placed Bitcoin ETF to be launched. At least 2 more Bitcoin ETFs are slated to be launched later this week and could see 3 more to be launched in the coming weeks. Let's look at the other Bitcoin ETFs that could create further reasons to cheer for the market. First on our list is Valkyrie Bitcoin. ETF's Valkyrie Bitcoin ETF could well be the second one to be launched, following ProShares in the US. It is anticipated that Valkyrie could begin its trading under the ticker BITO from 25th of October. Earlier, on the 15th of October, the US Securities and Exchange Commission had accepted the registration request for shares of Valkyrie's Bitcoin Strategy ETF for listing on NASDAQ. Next, Van Eck Bitcoin ETF. Another highly anticipated Bitcoin ETF is the Van Eck Digital Transformation. The ETF is expected to be a small portfolio but well diversified among stocks of all sizes. The ETF is expected to be focused on a portfolio with just 25 holdings, and being another global fund, it will have exposure to broader markets. Third one, Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. This development happened on the 19th of August as the ProShares market hit the floor. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust had applied with the SEC, wherein it intends to convert its Bitcoin Trust into an ETF rather than focusing on creating a futures-linked ETF. GBTC aims to allow the largest Bitcoin product to retain its dominance as a crypto investment vehicle. And lastly, Bitwise Bitcoin ETF. This one is expected to be a physically backed Bitcoin ETF with NYSE ARCA. Bitwise's SEC filing reveals that it would be a trade based on the price of actual Bitcoin rather than Bitcoin futures. Though SEC is yet to give a green signal, it is indeed one of the highly anticipated Bitcoin ETFs in the near future. The only issue that the SEC feels is that this could lead to market manipulations and study its pros and cons. To sum it up, Bitcoin ETFs is indeed a stepping stone, as it's a sign of market maturity and acceptance from the regulator's point of view. Other financial institutions will also find ProShares' debut as a template or a yardstick in their pursuit to launch Bitcoin ETFs. That's it for this video, but if you'd like what you've learned, then don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and of course comment, or check out the website kalkinemedia.com. I'm Rose Jacobs. See you next time.